All right. And let's go ahead and get everyone muted here. All right. So, well, thanks, guys, for everybody joining in tonight. We're Jim and Linda Ferguson, Henderson, Kentucky. We are honored and privileged to be with you tonight. I don't even want to say that, this is us hosting, because Hal and Lisa are actually, I think they're on the call. They may have dropped. There they are. They're on the call, but they're traveling this evening. So they've asked us to kind of make sure that the internet and everything stays intact as, as we have the meeting. Hal and Lisa have had a wonderful, I think it's been almost 10 days away, at least 7 days of vacation and business. And we're going to get to hear a little bit about that. But, you need to know first about why we have this call. If you're new on this call, we want to make sure that we welcome you. If anybody here, I don't know if we have the chat on here or not, but yeah, if you're a new caller tonight in on the call, please let us know. Just sign in on the chat and let us know that you're with the call for the first time. We want to welcome you. This is the Call, and I think that is a great name for it.
It lifts everybody up and just helps encourage everybody to move through the ranks.
Yeah, and we are a team. We work as a team. No one builds this business as a lone ranger. We build it as a posse. And so for that reason, we are here to elevate one another, to be able to grow with one another, and to be accountable to one another through this call. How Lisa put this call together. I'll never forget the first time I called in. We didn't do a Zoom meeting. I called in first week that we were in the business, and she's been doing this for a long, long time for her team. And so we are very, very grateful that this still is here for each and every one of us. And boy, it has expanded and grown over the years. How have you seen it change?
Oh my gosh. For one thing, it's on Zoom now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's totally different. I mean, like you said, we used to just do a call, and I remember listening to the call and not being able to put faces and names together, and being confused about all that in the beginning, like everybody is, and like who's who and whose team and what do you mean, and so that's the biggest change of all, I think, is the information is still as valuable today as it was when we first got started, but it's the evolution. I remember one of the first calls that I heard Lisa do. Gosh, it had to be in October of 18 that I can really recall, because I have a brain, right? And but the whole thing is that it was such a good training. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, we have to have a recording of that, and it was boy, on message and to the point, like as Lisa always is.
Well, and they always spend so much time preparing and putting everything together. It used to be called the Jeep Call. As the business has evolved, it's now called the elevation call, evolution and elevation. But we want to make sure that we recognize not only the new people, but also the people that are on the leaderboard.
And I can't find the leaderboard. I mean, it's not on my app anymore. I can't find it. I've been looking for it.
Oh goodness. Okay, so we will come to that. Maybe if Hal and Lisa are on the call, maybe they can find that.
Yeah, they can help us out with that.
And that's one thing they asked us to do.
and I've been looking for it. And it's like, if you can find it.
It's not under. It's so evidently.
We got it, guys.
Okay, so go ahead if you would, Hal.
Yeah,
Lisa.
but just so you know, I mean, when I was looking, you just go to your back office, obviously. Not in the app. It's reports and then leaderboard. So we were excited. We had two. Do you find it, Jim?
Yeah, I found it.
Yay! Awesome. Well,
one thing he asked him to do.
I'm sorry, my brain just wasn't working. I was like, well, where is it? It's under reports, of course. Duh.
And but anyway, do you want to announce it, Lisa or your boss? Jim's going to be doing it right here. He's got it.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead, Jim.
All right, we're coming up from the bottom, and Marissa Roberts
from Texas is number 24.
That's right.
She's down in Laura McClendon's team.
And then we have Oh, I'm trying to recognize names here. And
I'm going.
keep going. All right.
Mercy is on the
And
top
Mercy
10.
is
And Mercy is number 8
from California.
I was thumbing my way up. And I think that
So
they,
we guys, as a team, this is the thing. This business is ours for the taking. Whoever wants to step forward, steps forward. And I think that's what the message tonight is about how do we move the business forward? Congratulations to those that are doing the work, who are coming on board, making the contacts, moving their business forward. And each and every one of us are in different places in our business, whether that's rank wise, we might be at different places, where we're growing, as a team, but also as we're growing within ourselves, our own personal selves. And I believe your rank grows in proportion to how you're growing personally. So congratulations to each and every one of the person that's on the leaderboard. We got a lot of work to do, don't we, Jim?
that's right. That's right.
Okay.
And when we show the plan, we say, this is you. And the first thing you got to get right is the you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
that may be on your product use, that may be on your self-image, that may be on your confidence, maybe in the belief in your business, your upline, the corporation. But you have to get that you right.
Exactly. And so we are going to tonight bring on board a couple individuals that are definitely leaders in Hal and Lisa's team. They are huge leaders within our team. And that's Steve and Jenny Todd. And Steve and Jenny live in Pensacola, Florida. They are the sweetest people on earth. Steve is my brother. And I've always admired Steve in such a way that you would a big brother. But as we've gone into business together, I admire him all the more to see him grow personally. And within this business, it's been such an honor and privilege. And then Jenny, of course, as well. We kind of laugh and say that, I've known Jenny since I was 7 years old. Steve and Jenny were high school sweethearts. They've been married 42 years.
But let me say this about Steve Todd. I didn't meet Steve Todd until Linda and I had already been married for about 3 years. And they were in Germany when we first met and were dating and first got married and everything. And I truly expected to see this guy levitating about 1.5 feet off the ground. I mean, because everything that I've always heard about this guy was just like almost surreal. But then I met him and it's like, okay, it's almost like a 3-finger gag story, type of thing, because he was everything that he was portrayed to be. He was a great leader. He was a great individual and just an all-round great guy. All right.
He's a sweet person. Steve is just a genuinely sweet person. And so we want Steve and Jenny to kind of take it from here. And, they're going to bring to the table what is going on to move their business forward. And particularly, they're contacting as they talk to people. Is there any magic about it? No, it's just they do the work.
Well, and we have witnessed this firsthand. Whenever we're out with Steve and Jenny, I mean, they are just natural lovers of people.
Yeah. So Steve and Jenny, you guys come on board and kind of take the lead on this and talk to us about contacting and inviting and what is going on with your business, and maybe draw in a couple people that you have confidence in that you would like to speak as well.
All right. Well, guys, thank y'all. We're humble.
Can they hear us?
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course we can. Yeah.
We had our computer die actually the other day, so we're on our iPad, and
You look great.
yeah, the buttons are different and all that. And Jenny's really good at pushing buttons, so I'm going okay, but it all works. We all are our team. That's why Hal and Lisa are traveling. They can do that. You're in Kentucky, you can do that, and we can be in Florida, and we can all pull this together and make this work for our leaders when they need us. So I think that's what we're all about here is helping these leaders and helping our businesses. One of the things that I think we need to touch on tonight, and Jenny will pick it up in a minute, is I think when we talk about contacting, I like to call it more prospecting than contacting. In a business, if you're in a business, you're prospecting all the time, whether you like it or not, you are. And there's probably not one subject that I think creates so much intimidation for people, and why some people would rather do anything, just about anything, than prospect or call or contact. I mean, people avoid it like the plague. And I have to ask people that do that is, are you treating your business like a hobby, or are you treating your business like a business? Which one is it? Because if it's seriously going to be a business, then your prospecting has to be a serious movement. But there are certain fears that you're going to have to overcome with that. So with that being said, you know, as ambassadors, guys, you know, we're taught all the techniques of prospecting, right? That's what we're here tonight to talk about, to share with you what we do in our business to help our prospecting, to help our contacts. That's all part of what we do. And it's sort of interesting that as ambassadors, we're taught these techniques all the time. But however, what we think about that we hear them all the time, but a lot of times we think that we should just get it in the first or second time. And that's not true. You know, it takes repetition to get good at prospecting. It takes repetition to get good at contacting. It just takes over and over and over. And a lot of times in a business like this, you think, well, I should just get that the first time. And it takes many, many times to get good at prospecting. And so what we're going to share with you tonight are things that we do, and we fail at it a lot, right? We that's part of growing our business. The good thing about Zilis and what we do is that you can fail and it doesn't cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. You're not losing money because you're not prospecting correctly. If you started a business and let's say you borrowed $100,000 to start that business, and you didn't open up the doors every day, and you shut the door on your prospecting, it would cost you a lot of money. And because this business is like it is, and because of the opportunity it is and the type of opportunity it is, it doesn't cost you money. But what happens is your fears step in, the fears of failure. And there's a few, but there's a sort of a misunderstanding, I guess, in my way of thinking, that it's what is prospecting, what is contacting. And I'll get into that, and then I'll let Jenny give you some good examples of how she's really, really good at this. You know, if you bought a car, for example, a new car, and you wanted that car to know how it worked, you would get in it and drive it occasionally to understand how the car works, right? You want to know, you want to understand how that vehicle operates. And if you never used the vehicle, you wouldn't understand all the buttons on it. And that's the same thing in prospecting. You've got to be able to get into this vehicle, into this. The Zilis has all the tools. They have all the parts of the vehicle, but you've got to drive the vehicle. You have to. And if you don't drive it, you won't ever learn how to do it. And so this is a skill that you're going to learn how to do. And some people really think that if they do this once or twice, and they should get good at it. And if they don't, well, I'm just going to give up. Not going to contact it anymore. And it won't work for me, you'll say. And I think that's that you don't understand it, guys, that prospecting and contacting is a skill, and it has to be developed. And so think of it doing anything the first time, driving a car, swimming, anything like that in prospecting or contacting, you have to develop it. And for people that are new here, think of it that way. You know, you're starting a business without the $100,000 risk, but and there is no financial risk for you. But what happens is that you get good at anything by getting good at it, by practicing, by developing a skill. And so the skills that Jenny and I have developed, excuse me, are skills that we continue to work on. We haven't mastered any skills at prospecting. We're just getting better at it. We're trying to get really, really good at it because, guys, this is a serious business for us. This is a serious opportunity for us. This isn't a hobby. This isn't something that my hobby is volunteering at the Blue Angels flight line. That's a hobby. This is our future. So we take prospecting and contacting very serious. So let me give you a good example. When you start thinking about this too much, you get a fear that sets in. This is an unconscious fear. It's called the fear of rejection. And the problem with prospecting is that when you start overthinking this too much, the fear of rejection is real. That's an innate real. Nobody likes to be rejected. And that fear becomes very, very powerful for you. So I want you to understand this evening that these are real fears. These are not artificial fears. It's okay understanding that the fear of rejection is real. But however, to begin with, if we didn't have a fear of rejection, we really wouldn't know what it is to overcome anything. So it's a deep psychological protection mechanism, guys, that protects us. It protects us from harming ourselves or anything. So the fear of rejection is real. It says that it's the fear that says, don't proceed. You don't want to keep going. However, that works against you in this business. You have to get over the fear of rejection. And if you don't, you'll just quit prospecting. You just will. And so in my world of self-talk, the fear of rejection is something that you need to seriously think about. How do you overcome that? And that's by talking to yourself in positive, and Hal and Lisa have said this many times, talking to yourself in positive affirmations, speaking to yourself correctly, understanding that your self-talk is the most important coach you'll ever have. There is nobody else that can coach you. There is nobody else that can externally motivate you. You have to internally motivate yourself with the proper self-talk. So one of the emotions that I think that you can turn around with this is that to avoid it is to avoid the fear of turning no's into yeses, and understanding that the fear of rejection is okay to have, but it is a skill that you have to develop to get better at it. The fear of unknown is another one. When you don't know the answers, it makes you uneasy, right? If you don't know if somebody's going to say yes or no, you get uncomfortable with that. And it's the fear of unknown, and realizing that's a real fear too, that you have to work through. But here's the thing, that's also a protective mechanism for you to understand that if you don't know something, it's natural for you to want to sort of be skeptical about it, or to take the step back from it, because that's how you protect yourself. So, and it's okay to have that. But guys, in order to do prospecting, like Jenny's going to show you, you have to put one foot in front of the other. You have to start by overcoming the fear of unknown. You have to start with one foot in front of the other. And then the last one is the last fear of understanding prospecting is the fear of failure. Guys, we all, like I've told you, we're all going to fail in this business. And if you fail 80% of the time, or even 90% of the time, think of the 10% success rate and how important that is for you to gain that 10%, that 20% success rate. But you're going to have to fail and have the fear of failure, and you're going to have to deal with that fear of failure in order to do that. And your self-talk is super, super important for that. So some of the affirmations that I think are important for people to say that is that when you think about that, I would say this to myself. I would say to yourself, I choose to be very good at prospecting, and I choose to be very good at building my business. Those are fundamental affirmations that you need to make. Those are important things that you need to tell yourself. You need to say to yourself, I have confidence. I like what I'm doing. And I prospect every chance I get. And we'll talk about a little bit that in a minute when I get done with this introduction on prospecting and contacting. But I want you to understand the fear of failure is real. It's real to you. The fear of rejection is real. that is a real fear, and the fear of the unknown. These are real things. So just because you're not succeeding at prospecting or contacting, and we give you the tools to do that, doesn't mean that you can't develop a skill to overcome these fears. That's what success is. And as we do life together with Zilis, this fear, this prospecting, and this contacting has to be a part of a serious business builder. It can't be something that you take lightly. This has to be something that you really, really seriously want to get. If you borrow $100,000 and start a business, you're going to open up the door every day. You're going to prospect. You're going to market. You're going to put yourself out there. You're going to overcome those fears of failure. But you have a big financial failure with that. In this business, you don't have a financial failure. You just have the fear of failure. Okay, so recognize these as being real. Remember this too, guys. You want to prospect. Then when you prospect, then you want to show the plan, and then you want to build your business. So you say to yourself, I prospect, I contact, I show the plan, and I build my business. Those are fundamental things that you have to tell yourself. You have to speak these truths to yourself, and they're not truths to you. They won't be truths to anybody else. And I know that everybody on this call tonight is a sharing person. There's no one that's on this call in their heart is not a person that wants to share. And when you build this business, you're sharing it. And when you get nervous with the fear of failure and the fear of rejection and all these fears, what happens is these fears overcome you, and you think that, well, I'm selling, I'm not sharing. Guys, you're sharing this opportunity with people. Everybody on this call is a sharing individual, and you're sharing it, you're reaching out to people. And it takes practice to do that. With that being said, what I would like to do is have Jenny give you some really, really good insight into what she does daily with her prospecting and her sharing. And she's just become, I know I've jumped in with this, but she's just become a really, really good prospector and contact person. And so I'm going to give you to my beautiful wife here and let her comment here.
Well, thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. And I just appreciate the time, but I never want to not thank our upline. Yes. Jim and Linda and Hal and Lisa for all that they do for everyone on this call. And I just appreciate this business opportunity and the people that were around this business. I just appreciate it all the time. But I'm going to share more, really a lot of just my personal, how do I do this? And Steve's right. When I started doing this, I didn't do it as boldly as I do now, but the more you do it, the more fun you have with it, it just feeds you. It's just like a fix. You got to go out, and it becomes a challenge to me, and it's like a game with me. So on that note, I'll get going, and I hope I don't take too much time because it's just so much fun. So guys, number one on my list, when I leave this house, I check my purse. Do I have enough business cards? Do I have enough of those 7 milliliter bottles? And do I have enough of that topical in my purse? We have learned by walking on the beach where you got just shorts and where am I going to put these cards? So I just do my darndest. I stick them everywhere. We've been places and not had our cards. So if you get a card from me and it's crumply and wrinkly, ain't no telling where it's been. But you never leave home without your cards. All right. So and your bottles.
Right. That being said, so let me tell you what I did the other day. That was totally not correct. I failed. So I went out with my grandkids, and I'm like model rocketry. I used to do it. So I take my grandkids out and we launch rockets. So I'm out launching a rocket, and I've got just the launch kit, and I'm out there launching rockets with my grandkids. And, some people are curious. What are you doing? A lot of people haven't seen that. So this guy walks up to me, and I'm aware that I want to prospect this guy, right? I mean, I know he's walked up to me. You know what? I reach in my pocket. I forgot my cards. I could just like, man. So it's a failure. It's okay. But I will not forget them again like that.
Yeah.
So just
So
let you know.
you never leave home
Never
without
leave
them,
home
guys.
without your cards.
And something else that Steve and I do is, guys, we go places and do events just to meet people. Now, that's a selfish reason. Don't ever repeat that I said that, but we go places just to meet people. For example, you know, there's a local Chamber of Commerce meeting tomorrow in Perdido Key. And, you know, we really don't want to get out of the house, but it's an opportunity to go network, exchange cards, and meet people. So we're going to go. Would I rather be home at night with our grandkids here and visiting? Yeah, but for 2 hours, we're going to go and we're going to meet people. So we go places that we really normally wouldn't go, selfishly, just to meet people. Okay, you go with a smile on your face and whatnot, but you do think, you just go places to meet people. Also, Jenny doesn't do Facebook. Okay, now I know that I'm the only one on this call, but y'all, I don't do Facebook. But you can meet people outside of that Facebook world, guys. And I'm not belittling Facebook. I've just never done it, and I don't want to do it. I just don't do it. Technically, I'm challenged. I'm not internet savvy. But get a hold of this, what I did, y'all. I'm so proud of myself. I don't know how I did it, but I tried Alignable here in Pensacola on my cell phone. I said, all right, I'm going to set this up.
Let's tell them what that is.
But everybody knows what Alignable is. Yeah, they do. But no, I got to give this example. But so lo and behold, somebody answered me and I went, oh my gosh, what do I do now? So I fumbled through it. I did it, y'all. I answered this lady back and she answered me back. And we set up a breakfast. We met at Hub Stacy's, which is just a local place here that's right on the water. You just watch the boats go by. But I set up a great breakfast. And, you know, I just told myself, well, this was meant to be. I had no idea what I was doing, but I met this lady. We went and we had a great meeting, great connection. So you just never know what God's going to give you. I told this lady when we met, I go, this is all a God thing, because I had no idea what I was doing. So you just do it. You just do it. But, you know, my favorite way to meet people, y'all, is face to face. I love touching. I love seeing a smile. I love hearing a voice. You can just feel somebody when you are talking with them face to face. You know, they get to know you, you get to know them. This is Jenny's favorite way. I just love meeting people. So wherever I go, I'm always thinking, I'm going to meet a new contact today, and I'm going to give out one business card today. I just get my mind in that frame. So my why, Jenny's why, is getting stronger all the time. And that empowers me to go out and meet people, y'all. You know, I just, my why is my greatest motivator. And Steve's right. You know, we have fumbled through things, and just through trial and error, again, it's just become a game for me. And I'm going to give you 3 examples of some people that I've just met. We're having Hal and Lisa on their way through Florida. We met at the Bluegill restaurant on Mobile Bay. So we ate and had a nice dinner. And so we were coming out of the parking lot, getting ready to go home. And somebody in the parking lot rolled down their window and they said, hey. So I walked over, and she wanted to know if the food was good in there. That was her question. And I said, oh yeah, it's great. I said, I'm not a seafood lover, but you're going to love this, that, and whatnot. So I just continued the conversation with her. Y'all, I ended up getting her telephone number, her name. I gave her my card. We talked about CBD. She just rolled her car window down and said, hey, is the food good in there? You guys have fun. It's a game. It's just a game. So I won that token. But all right, I have called her twice. Has she called me back? No. But I practiced making a contact and I got a phone number. That's a win. That's a win. That's her loss that she didn't get back with me. Another opportunity that I never thought about, I went to a wedding shower. And this wedding shower was a wine tasting wedding shower. And the wine guy that was telling us all about these wines and whatnot, after it was over, I didn't have any wine, but I went up and I just started talking to him, just introduced myself to him. So We just talked and talked. And because this was face to face, he trusted me. I got his number. We have a meeting with he and his wife next Monday night. She has back trouble, whatnot, you know. So again, you just take advantage of the situation that you're in. Just make it a challenge to get one new contact and give out one new card. Now, the last example I want to give you, again, I'm always thinking, meet somebody, meet somebody, meet somebody. I was at the Shell gas station on Barrancas Avenue, and I was filling up, and the gentleman in front of me that was filling up had a UK baseball hat on. Well, I graduated from University of Kentucky, and you know, here we are in Florida. So I just opened the door and I said, I can't help but notice that your UK hat. So he goes, well, I noticed that U of L license plate you have on the front of your van. So that right there opened the door. We just had the best conversation, but I got his telephone number and he got a business card for me. It's a game. It's a challenge to me. I just go out, I have fun wherever I go, and just meet people, you know. And another one of our approaches are when you're just meet somebody, you know, it's just natural, you know, you go, hi, my name's Jenny Todd. Well, what do you do for a living? And they tell me. And so then they'll ask Steve and I, well, what do you do for a living? One of our great comebacks is, well, we have a hemp business. That always gets a reaction. That can be a negative reaction or a positive reaction. But, you know, so then you just look for the positive reaction. And if somebody's positive about him, they're willing to listen to you. We did this at a funeral yesterday, y'all. We got a business card into the hands of somebody at this funeral. We just have a good time with this. So, but I just talk to people, y'all. You just live your life. You just talk to your people. And my goal is to meet a new person, give out one card every day, and to just be Jenny. You just go out. I just want to go out and I want to be Jenny. If I mess up.
3 years ago, they did.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I've learned something if I mess up, and, you know, I just have fun meeting people and just have fun contacting people. That's what I do. So I would like to bring on a couple of our ambassadors just to share quickly how they invite people. Susan, are you on this call? Susan Welch? She was picking up kids from church right at this time. Okay.
Brian's gone in to get them. Yeah,
awesome.
For sure.
Okay, Susan, just share it a little bit. How do you contact people?
Well, may I ask you a question real quick with what you said?
Yes.
When you say I get their telephone number, because this is something I'm challenged with, and hopefully this will answer. If I've got this question, then others will. Do you have your phone out and ask them for their number? How do you elicit that number, and how do you get it down? Are you writing it on a piece of paper? What are you doing?
Susan, okay, I've got 2 business cards in my hand. I give them our card, and then on the second card, I write their telephone number down, and I show it to them and say, is this right? Do I have this right? That's how I do it.
And you get their name and number. Do you, so you write it down, and so you don't give it to them to write it down, you write it down, and
right. Yes.
And when you do that, because again, if I've got these questions, I know others do. Is it may I have your number because you've been talking about that you've got a hemp business? I mean, how did you pull that out of them? What type of verbiage do you use?
Just I would not say, may I have your number? I'd say, I'd like to get your contact number so that I can call and talk to you more in depth about this.
Okay.
Well, one of the things we comment on that, Susan, is I'll say if the conversation goes that way, I go with the way the conversation's going. If it's a person that I feel that you know is closed-minded, I don't give them anything, because it's my time that I'm giving to them. It's my energy. It's what is serious about me. So I just don't do anything. Sometimes I just walk away because I know it's important to take things away. I'm not chasing anybody. I don't chase anybody for any reason. So my point is that if I say, hey, are you open to talking more about this hemp? Yeah, okay, wait, here's a card. Let me get your number. Write it down with my pen, because I don't ask them. I have it ready, and Jenny does too. So that's how we do it.
Okay, great, Susan. So anything else you want to say, Susan? How do you know?
Well, all the kids just climbed in the car, and Brian just got back in the car as well. Here, put that in your. He's gonna put that in his ear. There's one child. Well, I know for me, and y'all.
Yes.
Okay, now we can. I know for me, I'm very blessed because I'm actually I'm a dentist and I have a patient base. So that affords me the opportunity to discuss it because I use the product line in my practice. I have a health and wellness dental practice for treat sleep apnea and TMJ disorders and pain patients and things. So what I do, I'm very blessed. I've earned the level of the Jeep. So I now drive around a Jeep, and I've had opportunities where there's other Jeeps hanging out in the gas station, like you said, where, I went into FedEx the other day and he goes, "Hey, how you liking that green Jeep?" I said, "I love it. The best part is I don't make the car payment." And he's like, "You don't?" I said, "No, the company that I work with does that for me." And so, you drop those lines here and there, and especially during COVID, FedEx was one of my main, lifelines for the practice, getting things in and out from gloves and all that. So, these people know me. They don't really know my name. They know I'm a dentist, but at the same time, you start dropping those seeds with places that you frequent, like if you go to the same Starbucks and you've got the same barista, and you start those relationships and that type of thing. So that's kind of how I do it. And it's like Miss Jenny said, you just gotta kind of get a feel. One of the things I'm learning to do, you guys, is ask questions, make it about them. And that's very important when you are used to, as me, as a dentist, I'm used to pulling information out of people about a toothache. But what you do is you find out what their interests are, and then you tie it into, whether they've got a background in construction or they're a hairdresser, anything where, how's your body doing with that job? So we talk about the topical and things like that. So that's kind of what I do. Brian is here in the truck driving. So he's gonna, with his contacts, he's in a different world where he's out more with parents, and he's a substitute teacher. And so he's out in a different environment than I am, but I'll let Brian kind of give his input with that.
What are we talking about again?
You're talking about prospecting, which always makes me think we're digging for gold, by the way, when we use the word prospecting. So anyways.
I know. Okay, so I'm just supposed to tell. Okay, I think I got what my goal is here. For me, it's actually really simple because for the most part of the last 10 years, I've been a pretty negative person because of just a lot of things. So when I meet people now who've known me in the past and everything, stay positive. It's the number one thing. You stay positive and upbeat and ask them questions how they're doing in their life, compliment them on how they're doing, make everything about what they're doing and everything else. Eventually the question is going to come back, well, how are you? What are you up to? And I've got, a bunch of things that I've got in the hopper that I do. Some things bring interest, some things don't. And that's where I bring in Zilis. I bring in the products I use. And the products I use have aided me in becoming a positive person and thinking positive. So that's kind of how I do it. I talk to everybody, though. I don't think I have really a niche. I talked to them at Walmart. I talked to the Publix lady the other day. I mean, I just talk to everybody, but it's always upbeat and positive. No matter what I do now, if I'm talking to you, I'm going to be in a good mood, regardless of anything else. If you don't like me, I'm still going to be in a good mood. If you aren't interested, I'm in a good mood. So that's kind of the way I try to do it. But I don't really have one niche I talk to. I talk to everybody. My only problem, and some of the other folks on the call might start feeling this, unlike, I don't have a fear of rejection. I've been rejected my whole life. I don't have a fear of people liking me. Nobody likes me anyway. So it's pretty easy going for me coming from the business that I used to do. What I run into is frustration. I know what this product can do. I know the possibilities of this product. And when I'm talking to someone and they kind of look at me and say, that ain't going to work, it's a little frustrating for me because I know what it is. So that's my challenge. I have to pull back and make it about them again. Stay positive. Pass on how it's helped you in a positive manner, and don't get frustrated. I think everybody on the call will do fine.
Awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, thank
Great
you.
information.
That's awesome.
Great,
Yeah,
great,
thank
great information. Anyone else, Jenny, see that you want
Yeah,
to
I did.
bring
I'd
on
like-
board?
I would just Laura McClendon real quick. Laura's on the call and I would like to ask Laura, how does she prospect people?
Right.
You there, Laura?
I'm here.
Okay, awesome.
Y'all have had such good information tonight. Thank you for getting
sweet.
everybody to talk about how they prospect, because I know that's something that's hard for a lot of people, even me. And when you asked me, how do I get people and talk to people, I was like, I am not one of those people that just shoot the shit with somebody at the store. It's not me. I do not do that. I'm working on that, but that is not me. So if you're one of those people, you can still earn a Jeep and have a business if you're not one of those people. So don't get upset and go, well, I don't want to talk to strangers in the gas station. So I have a practice. So I have clients that come in every day, and I know there's several practitioners that I've talked to that they don't know how to introduce it to their patients. They don't know what to say. They don't know how to incorporate it into their practice. So what I found that works for me is when someone comes to me and they tell me all their problems, I'm like, well, are you open to learning more about CBD? And almost all of them go, well, yeah, but I just didn't know what brand to take or how much. It's everywhere and I don't know if it's any good and I don't know what to do. And then I just say, well, this is what I give them a 2-minute little, you have this system in your body that you need to help keep everything balanced. Usually when you use this, you don't need all the other herbs and all the other stuff to, keep you balanced. So let's just see what your body likes and go from there. That way I get most of my clients using CBD oil. And then I also use Facebook. I don't do a whole lot on Facebook, but I do have my own private like VIP group. So all my clients are in there. They invite their friends in there. I post little curiosity posts about, hey, are you deficient in magnesium, or are you stressed out and can't sleep, blah, blah, blah. I've got something that's helped me. If you want more information, join my group. And people join my group. And then in there, when they join my group, I send them a message saying, hey, what is your biggest health struggle? What do you need help learning how to do? Or what do you want to learn from this group? And then they tell me, oh, I have IBS or I have anxiety or whatever. And then I say, hey, I've got a product that might help you. Let me know if you're more interested, if you want more information. And then I go from there. So that's kind of how I've been doing that, using the Facebook and just incorporating it into my practice.
Awesome.
Oh,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Thanks,
So
Laura.
Laura McClendon,
Uh-huh.
what did you buy this weekend?
I bought a Jeep. And there's a guy, Matt, that is with Zilis. He's their fleet manager, and he found me a jacked up Jeep. If you get stuck in the mud, I can come get you. I've got the wrench, I've got the winch, I've got the lift kit, I've got the like souped up wheels, the whole 9 yards. It was like a super good deal. He said this would be like $7,000 more if I was selling this myself. I was like, all right. So I have to like jump to get in it. It's so tall.
Make sure you put pictures on Facebook for us to all see.
I will. And it's a standard. So I was like, oh, I haven't driven a standard in 30 years. My daughter wanted to learn how, and he said, it's a standard. Do you want that? And I said, yeah, my daughter wants to learn how. Let's get it. So I got
There
it
you
yesterday.
go. That's awesome.
I'll post some pictures once I get my
I'd love
Zilis
that standard.
logos on it. And
Proud
I
of you,
figured-
Laura.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I'm
Congratulations.
just so blessed with such a great team that's helped me achieve that. So thank you so much.
What color? What color, Laura?
It's white. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I love white ones.
Yeah, I wanted blue, but there's a Jeep shortage right now. So I was like, okay, white's
There's a shortage
good.
of everything right now.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. And, thank you, Susan, so much for your sharing, and Brian and Stephen, Jenny, anything else you want to add at all?
I think you want to summarize.
No,
Let's summarize this up, guys, about prospecting. First of all, it is the biggest question people have about building this business. It's the one that comes up the most. It's the most common thing is where do I get people? And you found from this presentation from this evening there's no shortage of people. Guys, you're not going to run out of people, okay? What you're going to do is you face fear. Remember, in summary, the fears set in. And then when the fear sets in, if you don't work at overcoming these fears with good, positive self-talk, good, positive attitude, as Brian said so eloquently, that's how you overcome the fears. Staying positive, sharing this information with people left and right, doesn't matter who they are. It really doesn't matter. Stephen said that in the 500. You just share the idea. Guys, everybody on this call, like we said, are sharing, giving people. That's what we do. That's what we like to do. And that's what you're doing here. So overcome your fears by sharing this opportunity with people and by prospecting everyone and anyone that you feel comfortable, that you feel like you're going to like. You don't know in your business who it is that you're going to prospect that's going to build your business. You probably haven't met them yet. And guys, if you're not in a serious business, then don't prospect, because there's no reason to. So get after it if you are, because prospecting is a big deal and contacting is a big deal. So with that being said,
Thank y'all so much
Thank
for letting
you.
me share.
yeah,
Thank you.
Great job, guys. Listening to everything that everybody has said, for one thing, I think of when Steve was talking about fear, there's scripture that talks to us about how we are not given a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power and of confidence and of sound mind. And if, I don't know where you lie in your faith, but if you just rest upon that, you actually have inside you the ability to overcome anything that you have fear of. There's something greater in you that allows you to overcome that fear. But here's the thing is, you have to step forward into it. If there's a pile of poop in front of you, you got to decide to either step over it, around it, on it, but you got to get on the other side of it. Okay. It's always there. The fear is you're always don't play in your head too much. I think it's what some people do, is they play in their heads so much. And I loved how Jenny also has fun with it, guys.
She gamifies it.
She gamifies it. She tells herself, she didn't tell herself, gosh, I am having a hard time contacting people. She tells herself, man, I'm good at this. And I'm going to put a card in my purse, and I'm going to put the product in my purse, and I'm going to go out and I'm going to meet at least one person today.
She expected success and she prepared herself for success.
So there's no surprise whenever she actually meets someone. And it's also not in regards to what the outcome is. It's just the action of doing it. You're not checking results. You're not hash marking yes, no, no. It's you guys know I love this book called The Compound Effect, but it's the compounding effect of just doing the work that will add to it. There's a book called The Outliers, where it says in 10,000 hours, anybody that does anything for 10,000 hours, think of Michael Jordan, think of all of the big moguls with technology, whether it be Steve Jobs or whoever, to get their expertise to overcome. They didn't just go out once or twice, hour upon hour upon hour upon hour, to overcome whatever they needed to overcome to accomplish their dream and their goal. And Jenny said it too. The more she thinks about her dream, the more she thinks about what she wants, the less she thinks about in her head of what's not happening. And so that is just, that right there is diamond training, Jenny and Steve. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to ask you a question, guy. I'm going to give you a quiz right now. In this conversation that was had tonight, this is a multiple choice. A, were you taught this? Pick the right answer. A, I must prospect 5 people a day to be successful. B, I must like getting rejected. C, I must never have fear. D, I must like everything I do in Zilis in order to be successful. Or E, I must believe that I can learn whatever it takes in order to become what I need to be successful in Zilis. The answer is E. And the whole thing is when we do this, we know good and well that if we focus on the things that we can't do, we're going to get more of that. So just continue to focus on what you want, focus on the dream. And Hal and Lisa, you guys, we're going to hit here at about 7:50. We got a couple new people that are on the call that we want to certainly mention here. Let's see.
Vicky Brown.
Yeah, Vicky Brown is new on the call. Vicky,
Welcome.
are you? Yeah, go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah, welcome, Vicky. She's under Lauren Lynch and Cindy Alvarado. So out of Memphis, Mississippi area. So we're super excited that she's joined our team. So thank you so much, Lauren and Cindy, for letting us know. And Hal has been just an amazing driver. You guys, thank you so much for hosting this call for us. Jenny and Steve, just great training. We had so much fun with those guys. We're just getting back from 10 days on the road. And I'm so grateful to our team. And there's so much to talk about. We will unpack this more next week. But one of the things I wanted to say is the people who are taking action right now, even if it's with some fear, stepping over the poop, stepping through the poop, Linda.
What about flowers, guys? It's not all
Flowers,
poop.
whatever you think of it as.
Yes.
But those people are having results. And I want to just shout out, Ted Jacobus did his very, very first live meeting this week in Tampa, Florida. Melita Crutcher drove 3 hours to come support him. She had her second meeting that she's ever hosted in Orlando. Was so proud of her. Pam Riley hosted Stephen Thompson in Phoenix at a lunch meeting in her home. Super excited about that. Mary Ellen, Debbie Gentry, Kristen, and Angela hosted a huge event in Newburgh, Indiana today on Sunday. And just, you guys, this just makes us so proud of the action that people are taking, because nobody feels like they're absolutely doing it perfectly. And
Brian
there is
Welch did
fear.
his first presentation.
Brian Welch.
He just took on the whole thing in front of regionals and presidentials, a full house at his house, and he did the whole presentation. I gave him a B-, but it was
I
really
gave him an A.
it was really an A, but I gave him a B-.
So let me just restate that, you guys. Brian Welch, Susan's husband, who we had a little hard time hearing when he was talking. Hopefully it's easier. We were in the car, so I really couldn't hear him at all.
Actually, it wasn't his first. His first one was a few weeks ago when he had a special guest that got in a car accident.
That's right. So
Anyway.
a lot of times, when we come to town, people go, oh, Hal and Lisa are here. Let's, we should let them present. Brian said, no, I want to be critiqued. I want feedback on how I do the presentation. And he just absolutely bossed up, did the whole thing. He and Susan just did a great job hosting. I was actually taking notes mentally because he had so many great points that I assigned him a homework assignment. He and Susan are going to record a Zoom overview so that we can actually make that available for everybody. They did such a good job with it, you guys. So anyway, Hal, did you have anything else?
Not for tonight. No, I think we've had a
we've had a
awesome meeting.
Great training.
And I'm still driving.
And Hal's still driving on prospecting. It is truly the lifeblood of this business, guys. We just drove, on 10 days with two 15-year-old, beautiful 15-year-old girls that did a great job on this 19 hours of driving. Susan Welch was kind enough to let us stay in her home twice. So we had a great time with that. But literally, we got to be in action, see our team in action, and also do our own prospecting. I think we had 10, 11 contacts.
We added 10 new names to our phone list and cards, which was, we'll share some in depth about how that happened. Not so much the individuals, but just a lot about how we do what was talked about tonight. Anyway, so we're doing that and we enjoy it very much. So I think enjoying it and not fearing it is my takeaway from what Steve and Jenny shared tonight, and really what everyone shared. Enjoy what you're doing, but taking it seriously. And that's the challenge. Take your business, something you enjoy, and it's really not work. And so anyway.
And I would also agree with Jenny where she says she loves face-to-face. And we just had 10 days of face-to-face contacts with strangers, new friends, and our team. And I'm just telling you, there's nothing more powerful, just feeling that connection with people than getting out live.
So we need to, Jim and Linda, did y'all want to talk about the Freedom Call tomorrow night, as well as
Yeah.
registration.
We also want to welcome Stephanie to the call tonight. She's a new ambassador. And Stephanie, glad to have you. Where are you calling in from, Stephanie?
Gotta unmute yourself.
Sorry, I'm still learning how to work this. Can you guys hear me?
That's okay.
That's all right.
Where are you calling
Hey,
in from?
I live in Springdale, Arkansas. I have a salon in Rogers. And so I have been introducing the CBD oils there. And, you know, I've explained to like Shelly, Lisa, Beth, I think that it's interesting doing this in the Hispanic community. That's what our clientele mostly is Hispanic. You know, I have to definitely kind of educate them on it's not marijuana, you know, because they obviously see the leaf and, you know, that's just how it's definitely a cultural thing. It's like, for whatever reason, it seems to be like the worst thing you could ever get involved with is marijuana. So I have to really make it a point that it's like, it's not marijuana.
You have a great upline though, that can certainly help you with all of that. And congratulations though. Congratulations on being on your first call. And we just expect great things from you. Of course, Shelly and her husband Mark are rocking this thing. So that is awesome. But thanks for joining us. Make sure you have somebody new with you next week. And guys, on tomorrow night, you do not want to miss the call tomorrow night, the Freedom Call. The details are going to be given for the upcoming event in September. I was
Fall Fest.
For Fall Fest, and everyone on this call, Steve mentioned about, do you have a hobby or do you have a business? I think really where the line is drawn a lot of times is when these major functions come up and you're making a decision about your business. And the business owners will be at the function. I mean, it's just cut and dry that way. So figure out how to get there, but the details will be given tomorrow night. And then also we want to make sure that everybody is on the elevation call this upcoming week. We have the following Sunday. We have a lunch and learn on Thursday at noon. Always an opportunity to grow and to learn. Make sure you get your Lachey samples and get those out to people. We're having some great success with that. Jim and I are. But I'll hit I'll take it off recording. And guys, once again, thanks so much for all that you guys have done.